So today we're gonna once again talk about cool guides, the subreddit. And I've actually seen a really cool guide, something that I'm really looking forward to just go through and talk about. And of course, as always, there's gonna be just some things that are not that interesting, not that relevant, but still, we're gonna go through a bunch of them and we're gonna just have a look and we're gonna see, So, this one is actually pretty interesting, How tilted are the planets? Something that I didn't know is that Mercury has a 0-degree tilt, whereas the Earth, for example, is having a 23% tilt. Venus is having 177. It's not percent, I'm sorry, degrees, not percent, degrees. Mars is 25%, so it's degrees. So it's actually fairly similar to Earth's tiltedness, if this makes sense. Jupiter, 3 degrees, Saturn 27 degrees, Neptune 28 degrees, and Uranus 98 degrees, which means that it is almost horizontal, the magnetical, just whatever, I guess, isn't it? I don't know. I really don't. Alternative softwares to Adobe's, and this is the one that I've been referring to beforehand by saying this is actually pretty cool and pretty important and pretty necessary to think about. So that he also, there's free options, free of charge, and there's single purchase. So free and open source, free of purchase and single purchase. So for Photoshop, which I'm using actually every single day, there you're having either options for photography and or options for painting. Since, Photoshop is able to do both. Let's have a look. So GIMP, which is open source and free, is an option. Then Sumo Paint, which is free. Affinity Photo, which is a single purchase. Then Photoline is also single purchase. Then Photopia, which seems to be free, and Paint.net, is free and open source. I don't know Photopia. Online photo editor. Whenever something is free online editor supporting PSD, well, this is actually pretty cool. And it looks fairly... it looks like fucking Photoshop. Come on. But I think that it would actually be kind of nice if it was downloadable. So it is actually... Oh, I can already use it. I see. Of course, if you're just in need of doing something, then you might get back to something like that. But Photoshop is just really good software. This is something that I kind of have to point out. And Sumo Paint, I also don't know Sumo Paint. Let's see. Online image editor. So it's also online. Try online, subscribe. Well, I don't know. Of course, you see the difference in things if you compare those. But when it comes to painting, you're having a free and open source option, which is called Krita. Then single purchase Clip Studio Paint, Paint Tool, Say, Procreate, which is only available for iOS. Then a free option, Add Sketchbook. Then free and open source Fire Alpaca, I'm sorry. Free Medibang. Then Paint Storm, which is a single purchase. And then My Paint, which is once again open source. Then if you're interested in InDesign, or if you have to use InDesign, then and free and open source would be Scribus. Affinity Publisher would be for single purchase, and Quark Express, which is actually kind of the software that everyone was using before InDesign was a thing, is also a single purchase. But I don't know Scribus. But I kind of bet Scribus that it is. It is not even online shit. It's actually, well, it looks open source. I know, I'm not gonna lie. But you don't have to use Photoshop or some else really expensive tool to make something really cool, to be honest. Then the other relevant is gonna be AI or Illustrator. There you have Inkscape as a free and open source, Vector as a free of purchase, then Boxy SVG as a free of thing, Gravit Designer, which is free and purchase apparently, then Affinity Designer, and Corel Draw last but not least. Then you're having, things. What is something else that you might be interested in? Premiere Pro, you have Olive, Kdenlive, DaVinci Resolve, which seems to be free and also purchased in Sony Vegas, whereas Olive and Kdenlive is open source and free. Then, of course, you're having, what is it called? After Effects. So if you're interested in compositing or composition and FX, then you have Natron, free and open source, then Blender, free and open source, DaVinci Fusion, which is free, and apparently you have to buy some things, and then HitFilm. For motion graphics, you have Cavalry, whatever, then Blender, and also Env. I don't know what Env is, but I'm interested. Env, or Envy, it is ENVE, Envy Composites. Let's see. No. Please go away. Oh, it's bikes. Motion graph. Well, but of course you have Blender. But something else is Natron. Natron open source. It doesn't look that bad, but something that I do have to point out is that most often when you're having something that's open source, then the user interface, the UI, is quite complicated. It can be quite complicated, but it looks actually pretty fine. It's actually pretty good. You know, flexible rotoscoping, tracker, powerful keying tool, curve and dope, and all sorts of things, as you can see, with a taste of Python. Of course, you know, we all are using Python, obviously, kind of. But yeah, pretty interesting. Is there something else? Of course, I wanted to look up Olive. Can I make it a bit bigger so that I can see shit? Yes. Olive video. Probably gonna find it in that way, but I didn't want to do this. Professional open source video editor. I didn't know about it, but it actually looks quite promising. I think I've said the exact same thing just before, haven't I? Olive is a free non-linear video editor aiming to provide a fully featured alternative to high-end professional editing software, which is actually, it looks like Premiere, but this is nothing to just shy away from. It looks really good. It looks really, really good, to be honest. So, but, how much could I just say by having a look at one picture? But it is also available for Windows, Mac, and Linux, which is amazing. And I don't know. I mean, if you're in need of some software to edit your videos and edit some stuff, then I don't know, use this one. Just because it is available for free and legal and stuff. Kdenlive or Live. Kdenlive is another one, which, yeah, it looks quite the same. Kdenlive. I would actually like to have some pictures. There's also some things they made with it. So I don't know. I think in the end, it really does come up to what you are capable of doing and not really the software or what the software is. Of course, I do want to point out that software can do quite a lot. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah. So, and if you want to use Adobe Audition, which I'm using every single day, have to, for editing the audio of the podcast and just the videos. An alternative would be Audacity, which is something that you probably know about. Then Ocean Audio, which I didn't know, by the way. Then DaVinci Fairlight, which is buy and free, whereas the other tools are open source and free. If you're interested in DAWs, DAWS, then Cakewalk, which is purchase and free. Ardour, LMMS, which is both open source. Reaper, you have to purchase it. Traction, GarageBand, Pro Tools, Ableton, and FL Studios. But I'm interested, since I'm seeing FL Studio and Ableton, which are music producing softwares. Cakewalk, I think I know Cakewalk, but Ardour. Since Audition is the digital audio workstation. Audition is pretty fine for just making music. It's not fine for making beats, this no. But if you're just doing some, rap things and stuff like that, it is quite fine. And I've got, I can use it. Let's just put it like this. But yeah, You know, it's not necessarily always, I think, that nice, since it's, I think, also not that optimized for that. But this seems to be just what you might be looking for. It's record, edit, and mix on Linux, macOS, and Windows. Looks fairly good. You know, it looks complicated at first glance, and I'm not gonna lie, but it is often the case with these things. And the other one, because I just also want to have a look, LMMS, because maybe I'm actually gonna get back to those things. Sharing platform LMMS. How to use LMMS. Get Wolf, docs, blah, 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 blah. Okay, the website is not that nice, so I'm not gonna check it out. Your fault. If your website is shit, I'm not gonna check it out. I'm burning for you. Peppers ranked by Scoville heat units. So let's actually have a look. Let's have a look. I like the graphic. I really do like it. Oh, I see. You know, it's the bottom is nothing and the very top is you're gonna die, apparently. So I'm not gonna go through every single one because there's hundreds of things. But there's actually some with 0 Scoville, the Purple Beauty, for example, or Italian Sweet, Gypsy Pepper, and also the Sweet Bell, which is just a bell pepper, I guess. Yeah, it is. Then you're having, for example, is it just some things that I know by accident? Well, Cubanelle, 100 to 1,000. Then banana pepper with 0 to 500. Fish pepper, 5,000 to 30,000. There's one called a Sport, okay. Chipotle or Chipotle, 2,500 to 800 or 8,000. Something else, Padron, Poblano, Anaheim, 500 to 2,500. Let's get up a little bit. We have Super Chili, 40,000 to 50,000. Tabasco pepper, 30 to 50,000. Black Pearl, which just actually is not that hot, but it, you know, you could assume that it is very hot. 20k to 30k. Cayenne is actually fairly hot with 30k to 50k. Didn't really know about that, but I'm using cayenne pepper every single fucking day because it is spicy and because I like spicy food. Then you have, let's get up a bit, White Bullet Habanero, 250,000 to 400,000. No, this is something completely different. I do have to point out that if I'm eating some cayenne, I do already just notice the spiciness, you know, clearly. You know, but if this is like just 100 times more spicy, then fuck me. But then let's get just to the really hot ones, where we're having the Carolina Reaper with 1.4 million to 2.2 million Scoville, or the Komodo Dragon with 1.4 to also 2.2. A little bit lower is the 7-pot Douglas and as well as the 7-pot Brown with around both 1.8 million, around the highest degree. And the Dragon's Breath, 2.48 to 2.48. Oh, this is always the same apparently. And then the just strongest one is the Pepper X with 3.18 to 3.18 Scoville, million Scoville. And they say, is there some warning there? Guinness World Records, hottest chili pepper in 2018. No artificial testing has been done yet. And there's verification from Guinness World Record is to be the official hottest pepper. But yeah, I think that these are actually not organically grown, but rather like made, if this makes sense, and if you know what I'm referring to. But yeah, those bitches. Yeah. Bumblebee, honeybee, wasp, and hornet. I see. Bumblebee. Those fussy little fuckers are almost too fat to fly. Let them go their way. They don't do harm, are capable to sting, but will buzz loudly to tell you to piss off before stinging. Honeybee makes honey, pollinates flowers, wears cute fuzzy jacket. Only stings you when it is life threatened, which is very reasonable. I'm not gonna IMO I don't know what this means. Please don't kill the RVIP. Wasp wants to steal your food and will fight you for it. Can sting multiple times without giving a shit. Loses his shit easily when provoked. And the last one is Hornet. I actually like this style of speaking, which I know some people I know they hate it, but I really like it. Hornet, big and scary but mostly harmless, wears reddish jacket, only stings when squished or threatened, will buzz loudly before. Sometimes attacks beehives, but is still a useful member of ecosystem, so please no kill either. Pretty cool. Dark Academia study technique. Okay, cool. Not hard and fast, but this I feel is generally true. I didn't know, by the way, that I think it's South Korea, but I might be wrong. The thing is, why do you point that out? Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. It really does not. Did you point out that Germany, it is about plugs, where you just plug in your electrical devices? Why should you point out Germany and the European Union, which is the flag? It's not the flag of Europe, isn't it? Europe flag. And they say that I'm in Oslo, but I'm definitely not in Oslo. Oh, okay, it's the European flag, but it's not only Germany, it's also Austria. We're having the exact same system, whatever. But apparently France is having a different one, and I didn't know about that. Then Russia is having a very similar one without the safety things, I guess. Then in I didn't know that. In Australia, they have very different ones, as well as in China. Italy, they're having this 3-point connecting thing. In the United States and Canada, as well as Mexico, you're having this angry one. In Japan, you're having something. In Switzerland and in Brazil, you also have a different one. I didn't know about that. In Denmark, I think it is Denmark. It's also a different one in Jerusalem. No, it's not Jerusalem. I'm sorry, I don't know it. But it's also a different one. Yes, of course, in England, you're having a different one, as well as in India, South Africa, and Nigeria. I'm very, very, and it's not Nigeria, but I'm very bad at this. But they look pretty interesting. Well, health benefits versus ripeness of a banana. I see. So apparently, different ripeness have different health effects, but I don't know. I genuinely don't know whether this is the truth, whether this makes sense, whether whatever. But yeah. Period. Highest resistance starch. So the underripe, a great source of prebiotics for gut health and food map friendly. Then barley ripe, high fiber and lower in sugar. Ripe, high antioxidant levels and good fiber content. Very ripe, lowest vitamin and mineral content. And overripe, highest sugar and lowest fiber content. So the best to actually eat is either ripe or more to the ripe side rather than to the other side. Sexual fetishes and their degree of taboo based on 2044 participants. So 2044 participants. Alternate sex positions beside missionary. Reported sexual interest. I see. Strongly male sexual interest. Blah, 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 blah. Tabooness. Okay, I see. Yeah, of course. I mean, yes. Missionary is good and nice and whatnot, but of course, trying out some other shit is also worth it. I think. Very worth it. Especially for her, I guess. Not necessarily. Well, it depends. It depends on various things, of course. What is the most taboo thing? Okay, pedophilia and necrophilia, which is, as they also say, strongly male and or strongly female or neutral. It actually seems to be very, very male. Sounding, creepy crawlies, bestiality. I just don't know what all of this means. Incest roleplay. Okay, what the fuck? Piercing and cutting apparently something is very female. Rape play is also very female, I see. Satanism, masochism, heavy bondage, also female. Whereas your line, race play, dirtiness, and incest, intimate objects and stuff is more male apparently. Yeah, okay, cool. I mean, Of course, if it is not illegal and stuff like that, just why not? I don't fucking care. But especially like, I don't know, like just try out positions. Just saying. Just saying. Different angles could do quite a good. The more you know. I see. Okay, there's a hijab, which is, something that you might know. Then you have the kimar and chador or kador. I'm very sorry, by the way, for pronouncing them incorrectly, especially when it is about something that's so important like these things. Then al-amira, shaila, niqab, and burqa, or however you want to pronounce it. But I see. I didn't know about that. I see. Very interesting. 50 cognitive biases. This is actually very important, so I'm actually going to save this. I'm actually also going to save, because I always forget about saving things. I also like this one. This one, save. I, in general, like all of these guides. They're so amazingly done, and all the work that is put into them, it is insane. I know it is just insane. Nothing else to say, but it is insane. Winning a lightsaber fight 101. I see. Use the right onion. Yes, we have seen this already. Oh, how to remove stains. Grass, vinegar, grease, soda, coffee, baking soda, blood, hydrogen peroxide, shit, vote, and ink, milk. Nah. Toddler's Guide to a Banana. Yucky but nipple, do not eat. Oh, yucky but nipple, I see. Taste test, snack, appetite drainer, full meal. Hairy stingy thingy, don't eat. It's not stingy, but I can understand why not to eat it. Icky spots, which are totally fine to eat. Opener requires an adult. Armor, discard anywhere. howtobeadad.com. Gross, no way, yum, get it. Well, you can't eat them on the rather non-ripe side. There's nothing to that, but yeah. English expressions versus time guide. English expressions with time. Behind the times, old-fashioned, out of date. All in good time, when the time is right at a suitable opportunity. About time, you have been waiting for something to happen for a long time. In the nick of time, it's about to be time. Do you say it like that? Yeah, anyway. In the nick of time, at the least moment before it's too late. A matter of time, something with which is certain to happen sooner or later. And have a good time, enjoy yourself. No, I'm not gonna. I thought about, actually, the problem is that often you see the same things and people reposting things and stuff like that. Human Rights Guide. Very important. This is gonna be the last one for the day. Freedom and equality. Human rights for all, life and liberty and security, freedom from slavery, freedom from torture, and legal cognition. So fuck you if you're not just, yeah. This is interesting. I'm very sorry that I have to go through this one as well. But you cannot suffocate in a chamber of your own fart. Facts about your farts. Farting is the act of passing intestinal gas or gas through the anus. These can sometimes be odorless and sometimes deathly. But do you know why you pass gas? Do you know why your farts are sometimes as loud as a blowhorn or as quiet as a mouse? The facts below will tell you a thing or two about something everyone does multiple times a day. Flatulence is the production of a mixture of air and gas in the digestive tract that are byproducts of the digestion process. Average leaderless composition. Nitrogen, hydrogen, carbon dioxide, something else, oxygen, other crap. 1%. Farts are indeed flammable. Top 10 farts. Zebras, termites, camels, zebras, sheep, cows, elephants, from top to bottom. The average person will fart 14 times a day and produce half a liter of fart gas per day. For me, it is like just 30 liters. Farts can come blazing out of your ass at 7 miles per hour and are 89.6 degrees Fahrenheit at the time of creation. You cannot suffocate in a chamber full of your own fart. Termites produce more methane than cows and even all man-made pollution machinery, but don't release any other harmful chemicals. Blah, 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 blah. Stealthy flatulence. Most farts come from swallowed or largely nitrogen and CO2 and are relatively odorless. The bubbles from these farts are large and can produce large sounds. I see. Bacterial fermentation and digestion processes can produce various pungent gases in other farts. The bubbles from these farts tend to be small and smelly and do not produce much sound. Yes, indeed. Silent but deadly. A person can still fart after death. How? The nerve endings in your rectal area help distinguishing the difference between farts and poop. But sometimes these nerves can get confused when your poop is more fluid than usual and results in things such as mud, butt, and shorting. Beans do in fact make your fart more. The human body cannot digest certain polysaccharides as these carbohydrates, blah, 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 blah. Fatty foods, last but not least, beans, corn, bell peppers, cauliflower, cabbage, milk, bread, eggs, beer, raisins, Brussels sprouts, lentils, onions, garlic, leeks, oats. Oh, oats. I eat quite a lot of oats. This is a good reason why, I guess. Yeast, radishes, sweet potatoes, cashews, turnips, and so on, and so on, and so on. And yeah. This is going to be the end of the episode, so I wish you the best health, happiness, and also success, and also hope that you're going to remind yourself and you're going to be remembered, which basically means your legacy, and basically means just being a nice person and then being remembered as a nice person, which is a pretty fucking cool thing. And yeah. 3 other questions that I have you are: why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions are hopefully going to show you your purpose and maybe even a business idea, which is a pretty fucking cool thing and also pretty important. The last one is: what could you especially say to another person that is really going to change their life and is really going to make a difference and is really going to make things better? Please ask yourself. Please answer this for yourself. Yeah. Have a nice time, stay healthy, stay safe, and I wish you the best from the bottom of my heart. Yeah, I'll see you. Bye-bye.